It's a sunny day in Jericho, a bustling town full of life, dust and noise. People are everywhere, going about their daily business. But amidst all this noise, there's one man who stands out, and not in a good way. Meet Zacchaeus. He's the chief tax collector of the town, and people don't like him. Tax collectors, especially the chief ones, were seen as traitors. They worked for the Roman government and took money from their fellow Jews. Zacchaeus made his living by taking more than what was required and keeping the extra for himself. People felt cheated, and they didn't trust him. But Zacchaeus, despite his wealth and position, feels empty inside. He hears that Jesus is passing through Jericho. This intrigues him. He had heard the incredible acts done by Jesus, how he accepts the outcasts, heals the sick, and welcomes everyone, even people like himself. Zacchaeus is curious. He wants to see Jesus for himself. But there's a problem. Zacchaeus is short. The crowds are huge, and he can't see over their heads. Determined to see Jesus, Zacchaeus does something surprising. He runs ahead of the crowd and climbs a sycamore tree. Imagine the scene, this rich, important man, climbing a tree like a child just to get a glimpse of Jesus. The crowd probably stared or shook their heads. Zacchaeus didn't care. He needed to see this man who was changing lives. And then something amazing happens. As Jesus walks down the road, he looks up at Zacchaeus in the tree. The crowd expects him to ignore the tax collector, but instead, Jesus calls out to him. "Zacchaeus," he says, "come down immediately. I must stay at your house today." The crowd is shocked. Zacchaeus is a sinner, a man everyone avoids, and yet Jesus is choosing to spend time with him. Zacchaeus is overwhelmed. He quickly climbs down from the tree and welcomes Jesus into his home. He's changed by this encounter. In front of everyone, Zacchaeus stands up and makes a vow. "Look, Lord," he says, "here and now I give half of my possessions to the poor, and if I have cheated anyone, I will pay back 4 times the amount." This was a bold statement. Zacchaeus wasn't just apologizing. He was making things right, offering to return what he had taken and more. This was a sign that he was repentant and ready for transformation. And then Jesus gives a simple but powerful message. "Today salvation has come to this house," he says. "For the Son of Man came to seek and save the lost." Jesus didn't come to judge Zacchaeus for his past mistakes. He came to offer him a new life and a new beginning. Zacchaeus, a man who was once seen as lost and out of reach, was now welcomed into God's kingdom family. This story is about more than just Zacchaeus. It's about change, redemption, and the power of second chances. This is the reason Jesus came to the world, to bring salvation to anyone open to receive. Zacchaeus wasn't beyond hope, and neither are any of us. No matter how far you have gone or how much you feel you are messed up, Jesus wants to rewrite your story. Just like Zacchaeus, we can be transformed and changed from the inside out when we let Jesus into our lives.